Lena from 10A's. I will let her do a better presentation than I can of her, but she is a product designer and a very creative person. And she will be talking about water today, but with a little twist to it. So without more words from my side, Lena, the stage is yours. Thank you for being here with us today. I'm so excited about your talk.
Yeah, thank you for letting me talk today. So, as Katja already introduced myself, I'm Lena. I'm a product designer and founder from Munich. And I'm very excited and honestly a little bit nervous to talk today about the big and huge topic, water. And as I was preparing my talk, I thought about how I could get the best introduction into this topic. And as we creatives tend to think in images, I thought I'll start with some images. And I was thinking what I'm seeing when I think about this huge topic, water, as I said. And on the one side, I have those super positive images in my head. I think of, water as a source of life. It's refreshing, it's clean, it's so natural. I think of this very calm feeling when you're bathing or swimming in water. And suddenly I have the urgent feeling to jump on the next plane, to get to the ocean, to a big lake, and be on holiday. So overall, my first impressions about this topic are very, very positive. But when I keep thinking about the topic, then those newspaper photographies pop into my head, and I start to think about water shortage, about people that are thirsty. I start to think of this moment when I'm in the shower in the morning and I'm very cold, and I know I should stop the water because it's not very responsible to keep showering for half an hour. And I think of my dad, actually, in the morning, because he was always screaming through the house, you guys don't have to shower for an hour just to be clean. My sister is here, so she knows the same situation. I see dead animals who swallow plastic bags. I see trash bins swimming in water. I think of my flat where I keep collecting those plastic water bottles because I think my flat is too small for a soda stream, and I have a bad conscience. And then I keep on thinking, oh shit, have I drunk enough water today? Because I should drink enough water because it's healthy. But well, plain water, I prefer beverages with taste, but well, I should drink water because it's healthy. So what those images leave with me is a bad feeling, or rather a bad conscience, I would say. And I think you guys are all very familiar with those feelings because, our generation is known as the generation knowledge, and what it means, it doesn't mean necessarily that we as individuals know everything, but it means that we can access knowledge at every time, wherever we are. And it is. It also puts us in the situation that we are very close to people on the other side of the world. We always get bombarded with those images of people from another place of the world, from landscapes around the world. We know that people, us, in other countries are suffering. We know that we are very aware of climate change. And well, I've never really thought about this feeling, about the bad conscience or where it comes from and how you would describe it. And I recently stumbled across an article from a creative person called Jasmina Bina. She's already also had a talk on Creative Morning Sessions in LA. And she was saying that she was writing about cognitive dissonance. So this is a psychological, oh God, that's a very hard word for me, psychological term for a state of mind when your behavior and action don't match your belief. So again, when your action is inconsistent to what your image of yourself is in your head, when it's inconsistent, then you feel bad as a consequence, because then you have a bad conscience because you think you did something wrong. She says that, or she writes in an article, that every company or every brand that tackles this high dissonance is stepping into a big market opportunity, because of course everyone, or we as a person, we want to feel better about ourselves. We want to think that we do what we believe in. And yeah, because the thing is, when you have a bad conscience, so when your action doesn't match your belief, you can either change your belief, you can change your action, or you can change the perception of your action. But it's quite hard to change your belief, because it's kind of it's in ourselves. It developed for so many years, and yeah, it's kind of a self-betrayal thing when you change the perception of what we're doing. So it's quite easy to change your action. And in the end, if you change your action, you feel better. And she says there are quite a lot of brands that do this thing, so they help you to change your action in order for you to feel better. So one of the examples I can very relate to is that I often have the feeling I'm disorganized, or I realize I'm disorganized. As a creative person, you think in quite unstructured, or you work in a quite unstructured way when you're in this creative process of mind. But then I know, especially now in my working environment, I have to be structured and I should work more efficiently. So what it leaves with me is a bad feeling, especially when I realize, okay, I forgot something, I should have done this last week. Oh shit, someone is realizing that I missed a task. We recently signed up for Asana. I don't know if you know this. It's a project management tool, and it helps you to organize your tasks. It helps you to keep on track of things, of working processes. It helps you to match the task with your team members, and yeah, everyone can see when you did something, and yeah. So when I signed up for this, it made me feel more comfortable with my situation. I thought, okay, now I'm very aware of what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm more organized, so I felt better. Coming to a product, I'm a product designer, so I like to talk about products, and I guess I want to show some products that are related to the topic. So as I mentioned before, I sometimes as well have the feeling I'm wasting water, because, as I said, I like to shower. I like to, like to bathe, and then I also, or I have the image of myself that I think, oh, I'm quite a responsible person, and I know that all my actions have some consequences, that I don't want to be irresponsible with the climate. So as a consequence, I have a high dissonance in my daily life. And during my studies, I think everyone who's a product designer in this room knows that, or had a project before about bathrooms. Like, I don't know, every product design student I know had a project about bathrooms. We had one as well. And there was always one person presenting a water tab that is counting the liters of water you're using. And it's just like the concept where like you have a water tap and you have a little box that shows you how much liters of water you're wasting. And it should remind you of being more responsible and being more responsible with the resources and try to hold you back from wasting water. Even though I never really, liked those products, I often thought about buying one because, I want to be a more responsible person. This is one example how they could look like. But then when I think of those products, like some thoughts pop up into my head and ask myself if it would really change my behavior. Because the thing is, I already know what I'm doing is not the best thing you could do. I know I'm wasting water, no one needs to tell me that, but it doesn't really change my behavior. Also, I mean, there are more situations, like it's not just water, it might be as well like jumping on a plane, go from like doing low distance flights from Munich to Cologne. No one needs to tell me that it's bad. I already know that. Another example maybe some people can relate to as well is, I think you all had the situation where you have this super indulging brownie in front of you and think, should I really eat this? One moment on your lips, what's it called? One moment on your lips, always on your hips. So then I think, should I really eat this? But think, okay, it's fine because I'm going to go jogging tomorrow for 30 minutes. But I say tomorrow, and from tomorrow it might be the day after tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow you think, maybe next week. And then eventually you go jogging on the 2nd of January because that's what people do when you have your New Year's resolutions. And not for me, I didn't even go jogging on the 2nd of January, but so that's the end of the story. So why can't we change our behavior, or why is it so hard for us? Because we don't steer our behavior by rational reasons, but we get steered by our desires and needs. And it's quite hard to change them or to influence them because we're quite weak when if we're being honest to ourselves. So coming back to this system, what Jasmina Bina described in her article, she said the most interesting brands she knows are those who don't brands who don't try to change your behavior, but let you keep to do what you're doing, but just like change the consequences of your behavior. So you still reap the rewards of your lower dissonance, but just keep on doing what you're already doing. You could now ask the question if it's something that's moral, because when you think about it, we're quite easy to influence as people. Like partly read a book called Nudge from the Nobel Prize winner Richard Thaler. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He used to be the right hand of Barack Obama, and he wrote in his book that research about the psychology is now so far that people who know or have this knowledge about psychology, they can very well steer the people's behavior. But as I said before, like what good brands should try to do is not to change your beliefs, but they should try to change the consequences of your actions. So coming back to products and coming back to water, when I think of products that act according to this principle, then there are not a lot of products I like pop into my head, but this is one of them. It's called Mito. It used to be a bachelor thesis as well from a product designer, and he realized that when you're cooking water, you normally, because water boilers are designed to, what's it called? Can't really see how much water you're putting into the boiler, so you always tend to put more water into the boiler than you actually need. So you cook water for like 2 or 3 cups, but you just drink 1 in the end. So a lot of water has been wasted just by cooking tea, and a lot of energy has been wasted. And overall, I think he said in one of his articles, overall in England, just the amount of energy that's wasted by cooking too much water for just 1 cup could light up London for 1 night. So he developed a product that's quite clever. He said, okay, why not using an induction, what's it called? I forgot the word. You can use it as well for normally cooking. It's an induction stove. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's an induction stove. And with the induction stove, there comes a little stick that you put into the vessel you drink your tea out of. So you can heat up exactly the amount of water you're drinking, or you want to drink, in a very, I think, attractive way. So it doesn't limit you in your in the usability. It doesn't limit you in the way you always cook your tea, but it does it in such a clever way that the consequences of your behavior are a lot better for the environment. So you might wonder why I'm standing here and talking to you about those topics, about water and about the cognitive dissonance. And I'm very happy to present it today, our little startup. I'm a product designer, as I said, and me and Tim, he's sitting here in front, we developed a drinking bottle that flavors water just by scent. So I come to how it works later, but let me tell you why we actually came to this idea. I think we people, as you might know, we all love taste. So we can't do anything about it because it's in our nature. So back in the days when a person was eating an apple, it should taste good because it contained a lot of essential vitamins for yourself. So it was really necessary for you to eat this apple because it helped you to survive. Taste kept us alive, basically. A little bit of the opposite is the case today because we still love taste, but the taste normally comes with a lot of unhealthy additives, with a lot of sugar. And it makes us consume more than we really need to, because sugar makes us addicted, and we eat so much we don't really need, we drink so much we don't really need. And one of the highest risks for our health are tasteful beverages, because beverages contain a lot of sugar and a lot of unhealthy additives. Yeah, coming back to the system about cognitive dissonance. So imagine yourself, I hope you will like taste, or you at least, you like taste. You want to be healthy, and imagine you can enjoy taste but still be healthy and still drink something that has no sugars or unhealthy additives. Imagine drinking something that's not bad for the environment, for example. Yeah, coming to our product, what we're doing is we're separating taste from water. And how are we able to do this? There's a very complicated expression for this principle existing in German. I can't really translate it into English, but when our product is a drinking bottle, and when you drink out of this drinking bottle, you suck in water and air, and the air gets let through a little sand capsule, basically. And this air adapts the flavor of this sand capsule, and when it comes into your mouth, this flavored air rises up to your taste buds in your nose, basically, and just gets exhaled. And what you're drinking is the water, but without any additives or anything. It's just water you're drinking, and everything you perceive as taste is just being exhaled. This is actually something this is how our normal taste perception works, but we're often not aware of that. So when you're eating something or you're drinking something, aromas and flavors get extracted and they rise up to your olfactory centrum, get perceived as taste, and then just get exhaled. Everything you taste on your tongue are the basic senses, like you taste sweet, salty, bitter, umami. So umami is, oh god, I don't know how to, it's it's a very German taste. It's when you eat pork knuckle, it tastes like umami. And bitter, yeah. So everything else, like for example, if you eat an olive, you just perceive the bitterness over your tongue, and everything else that makes you taste an olive, like an olive, is perceived over your nose. Our product, I'm very sorry because I can't really show our product at the moment, but just to show the principle. So we have a drinking bottle with a straw. That's very important because otherwise it doesn't work. And we have the sand capsule. And the sand capsule you can just put on to the drinking bottle, and instantly your water tastes like peach, melon, whatever you imagine. Everything you can, smell, you can also taste. So, our sand capsule flavors up to 5 liters of water. So if you imagine every tasteful beverage, if you think about it, is contained in a plastic bottle. And if you imagine that we can flavor 5 liters of water just in this very small capsule, that's quite an improvement in terms of plastic waste. As well, you can also, when you fill up your bottle, and the first 2 sips you feel like drinking peach, but then you decide, maybe today I'm more in the mood of melon, then you can just switch the flavor pots, and then, you're good to go. So what's the advantage for the customer is that you don't have to have the cognitive dissonance, because you can act according to your beliefs and your way of thinking to be a healthy person. As well, you have a very unique customer experience because taste like this, I'm pretty sure you never experienced it like this before. It's 100% healthy. You're not consuming anything else besides water. It's approximately 80% less plastic waste with this system. and it's quite cheap compared to what you find on the market. Oops, wrong. Sorry. As well, like, I'm a designer, so before I started with this idea with Tim, I never really had the economics in mind. But since now I have a good finance guy in my team, and he always reminds me to always have the best business model. And it's quite attractive also for investors because it's a razor blade business model. So it says it's the same model, or you could also say an espresso model, because you sell the main product, so the bulk, for quite cheap. People like to buy it, but then you make a lot of money over the capsules. So because there's a higher, marge, I don't know the English word, but you earn more money with this. Yeah, also I think, as you all know, the health, there is a lot of rumor in this health business because people realize that they should live or eat healthier. It's always quite nice to think about the product because first of all, it contains the food aspect. So it's a product that sells in a quite regular way because, for example, if you drink Nespresso coffee, you buy the capsules quite often because, it's a daily consumption. On the other side, you have the lifestyle topic. So you could also build a brand around it for like a lifestyle brand because it's a lifestyle product. Yeah, of course, as well. I hope you never seen a project like this before. It's quite innovative. Who we partner with. So, of course, now we've been working on this topic for 3 years. I never thought that a drinking bottle could contain so many problems, but it's quite interesting to see how much money you need for production, for everything, basically. So that's why I'm very happy that we have really good partners on board. And I don't know if you ever watched Höhle der Löwen, so that's the German version of Shark Tank. But we have 2 of those investors on board. So we have Frank Thelen and Ralf Dümmel with their companies. And we have Christoph Miller, who is an expert in beverages. So he brought all the big American brands to Europe, like Voss water, Fiji water, Arizona Iced Tea, Corona. So he's quite experienced with the topic itself. Freigeist is helping us to develop the company around this product, and DS is taking care of all the production stuff. So where are we today? So the production just got running. So I'm very happy that it's getting into the final stage. We're gonna go on to market this summer, so I hope you'll remind me and you'll see our product in Edeka or all the other supermarkets. We'll also be selling in the sports shops like Sportschuster. I don't know if all of the other people won't know this. Not from Germany, but so we're very excited. So we're kind of in the final stage right now. We just need to get some things going, like the packaging, which is quite an intense topic, and all the branding around. But yes, so we're in the final stage just before market entry, and we hope, if everything works well, that in future we can also be selling in Europe and maybe in America someday. Who are we? We used to be Joyce, then we used to be 10As, now we're Air Up. I never realized how damn hard it is to get a trademark going and to actually find a name that is protectable in the category of perfumes, in the category of beverages, in the category of what else, like household products, so it's quite hard. So we're very happy. We have a new name, it's Air Up, it's not 10A's anymore. Yeah, how it started, as I already told Tim and me, we're used to study product design in Schwäbisch Gmünd, if some of the designers know here. It's a very small town. Normally Germans don't know this town, just the designers. Yeah, so this was our bachelor thesis. We had a functional prototype for our bachelor thesis, but still it was a long way to go to get it into production. So when we're studying, like, you know, I think that's a thing for designers. They never really realize how good their idea is. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of nice, fun. Let's see what's getting out of this. But a friend of mine, he's on the very left, Fabi, he studied food technology, and he heard about the product and he said, wow, that's really nice. I want to develop the aromas for you guys, because before we were just working with like baking aromas, like vanilla aroma from the supermarket. And we thought it kind of nice if our water tastes like something else than just vanilla. So we said, okay, keep going. And then we started to apply for some scholarships, and we got money. Then we needed someone who's good with numbers, because we are not. So that's Jannis, he's on the very right. And now we also got a salesperson, Simon. He's very good at selling. Yeah, so this is the core team now, but we will be 8 people by the start of the market entry. I don't even know how we get the shit done with 8 people, but I hope it will work out somehow. Yeah, since we are here during the Creative Business Week, I want to talk a little bit about how it is to be a creative in a startup, because I hardly see any designers in startups, which I always wonder about because I've seen so many great products during our study time, and none of them went to market, but some other not so exciting products go to market. And yeah, so I can tell you it's quite hard to be in a startup, but yeah, and it's so important to team up with someone who's good with numbers, because we designers are normally not so good with numbers. Well, at least I am. Tim is a little bit better than me, but yeah. I also want to emphasize, I think it's so important that we creatives think about those big topics like water, like those topics that will be so important for our future, because I think we have a bit different access to those topics, because we think a little bit out of the box. We are able to think about like the blue sky ideas, where you just be like, you go nuts, and like normally the economists will sit next to you and think, nah, that's never gonna work. Like actually, when we had this idea with the bottle, we were like calling a big aroma house in Germany. They developed those aromas we're using for, not now, they're not partnering with us, but it's another aroma house. And we were just wondering, we just wanted to get informed and like telling them about the idea, and they said, you're nuts, that's never gonna work, never gonna work. And we said, I really want to call this guy at some day, but yeah, I also think it's quite important to, I think it was very good that we were studying when we were developing this idea, because you have room for failure. I can already tell now that because we have so limited time and limited resources, there's not a lot of time for going crazy and try things out. So I think that's very important for good ideas. And I think what's also very important is that we weren't experts, because when you're now we have a partner for the aromas, Dula. It's one of the biggest aroma houses in Europe. And they said, when we were talking to them about the product, they said, oh shit, we have thought about it so many times before, but we couldn't get it going. We couldn't get it, I don't know why. It's not a very very hard technique, actually, I have to admit. But I don't know why. They couldn't get it going. So I think we had a different mindset when we were tackling this product. Yeah, I also think we need to learn as designers in those environments. Especially for me, I learned it's very, very important to get better communication skills, because like branding or design is a topic where you don't argue with facts and figures, but you also I tend to say, I have the feeling this is such a bit, it's so much better to go this way than this way. And then the numbers guys will ask me, but so what are the facts? What are the numbers you're lying to? And I have to say, well, it's just my gut feeling. I know this is better, but so I think we need to learn to get some facts and figures ready for those topics. I think we need to get better at selling ideas, because I've seen a lot of designers have a really nice idea, but they always find it hard to present the ideas to a community or to talk about it. We need to get better at economics. I can't even say it. Economics. Yeah, I need to learn math. I'm really bad at it. And I think, at least for me, what I learned is it's better to be a little bit more pragmatic at some point, because design never really ends. Yeah, and yeah, it's good at some point to say, okay, this is how we do it. It's the decision we made. Yeah, so coming to the end, we have the bottle prepared for you. It's just a prototype, but you might want to try and see if it works. If you're interested, you can also sign up for a newsletter. It's on air-up.com. And if you have any questions or anything you want to talk to us about something, then just contact me. And if you know any good interns for film, then please let us know. We're looking for some students who would support us for the market entry, and also for some graphic design students. So if you know anyone could be a good fit, just let us know. Yo, I'm done. Yeah, right, sorry.
Thank you so much, Lena. I hope that you enjoyed the talk. I liked how she managed to integrate it within the Munich Creative Business Week with the business perspective, but still managed to excite us about the topic. I hope that your next project is going to change the consequences of our taking shower in the morning. It would be very cool. Do you have any questions? We would like to offer space for a few questions. Lena will stay around later on as well, so if you want to ask her one-on-one, feel free, but do we have any questions in the room?
Yeah. Question. How long has it been since you finished your bachelor?
3 years? Was it 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah.
3.5 years.
Yeah. 3.5 years, I think, yes. Yeah?
How does the sweetness perception work in your body? Because sweetness is one of the tastes that we feel on our tongue, and that nearly all beverages do have. So how does that work? Am I getting the peach without the sugar?
That's a good question, actually, because of course you can't really replace the sweetness you perceive through the tongue, but you can simulate sweet taste by sense. So, for example, vanilla is a scent you will perceive as sweet rather than anything else. It's just, I don't know how it works actually, but some scents are perceived as quite sweet. But you can taste it later on. We have some different tryouts, so you'll see the difference. Yeah?
One more question, sorry.
Sorry, just behind first, and then you.
Why air up doesn't contain even the water
Component, yeah. It's a good question. Actually, we were saying, okay, in this name, there should be some hint for the scent, because basically the scent is what makes us special. Because when you just hear water, you think of any other product connected to water. But scent is something that Germans don't understand, because it's not a common word. Smell is a negative word. And so we said, okay, the basic element behind the scent is air, so it was air. And then we said, okay, the air is rising up to your olfactory centrum, and so it's air up. But it's, to be honest, we had so many names, but none of them was working, were working, so it was the best option we had, and we could bring to a trademark.
There was a question here.
Yeah, I have a question about scents.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to produce the scents all natural, or you have to use some kind of
Yeah,
I
I didn't talk about it before. Yeah, actually we only use natural aromas, so it means that we're extracting the aroma from the real fruit, from the naming fruit, because that's important. So we don't extract strawberry aroma from potatoes, but we extract strawberry aroma from the strawberry. And it's a liquid, so it's a liquid you fill into the pots. And yeah, so our aroma partner is specialized in natural flavors. You could also, it's all, what's bio in English? Bio, yeah, it's all actually, but we didn't get the application ready in time. But it could be all applied for the bio certificate.
How long does the cartridge last?
For 5 liters. So you mean in general? So
Does it do you activate it?
Yeah.
And there's a certain amount of time?
Yeah. So the aroma, it lasts, you can sell it for a year, so it doesn't go bad, the aroma. But of course, the reason why the capsule loses the aroma is because when you suck the air through it, then aroma goes out of the capsule. And if you just open the capsule, so there are some stickers above, so you have to peel them off before you use them. And then, it takes a while till the aroma gets out of the capsule, so it probably takes months, but it gets weaker. So we have some, the packaging is designed for you to keep them fresh, so you can zip them in a doy pack or stand-up pouch, and then you keep them fresh. Yeah.
Did you try your aromas in the shower?
No.
You consume more water if you have a
Yeah.
shower
we have a lot of ideas. We actually, we're just starting, we have a student team now tackling viral marketing strategies, and we also had the idea putting aroma in the big fountain in the middle of the city, and everything smells like peach or something. So, but it could be a good idea. Next idea.
Any more questions? Then, please.
Will this kind of pot be recyclable?
So the pot's gonna be, because we were thinking about it a long time. The problem is with the pots, the material has to be aroma proof. So that's why Nespresso capsules are from the bad aluminium. But we didn't want to use aluminium, so we chose plastic, so you can just put it into the plastic garbage to recycle it.